Hi, everybody who is joining us live today. We are the DevLearn team. I'm Mark Britz, Senior Manager of Programming. Thanks, Kate. I'm Senior Manager of Programming at the Learning Guild. We're here to talk a little bit about DevLearn, but before we do, I want to introduce my co-host, Kate Smith.
Yep, hello everyone, I'm Kate. I'm a marketing manager here at the Learning Guild and work on DevLearn, so we're excited to be here with everyone today and get to share a little bit about the show that we are looking forward to so much.
Yeah, the one that's in development and growing. Every day the website changes. We're adding more and more for the upcoming Las Vegas event. So during the next half hour, we'll definitely field your questions, and we do have this feature within here, but you can use the Q&A feature and you can post those and we can answer those live here. So in case the numbers get too big. Otherwise, this is being recorded. So if you want to sit back and see some of the things that Kate and I are going to share, you can definitely dip into the recording afterwards. But I did mention the website. I did mention the fact that things are changing and growing real fast. So Kate, I'm going to start with the one big question. I'm going to answer it. People are asking, is the event happening online? Is the event happening in person? So the bottom line is, folks, we are optimistic and we're planning for a fully face-to-face event in Las Vegas this October. We're following the guidelines through the CDC, the hotel, our own personal ways of making sure there's a great deal of social distancing happening at the event, and we'll maximize safety is the #1 goal that's happening there. So as of right now, the event is definitely a face-to-face event, and we'll keep planning for that. Anything you want to add, Kate?
Yep, just that the best way to keep up to date with the information that we're sharing about health and safety is our health and safety page on the website, where you can see the plans we have so far of how we're going to keep everyone safe and comfortable, and then also our plans, going forward. So check that out. It's updated weekly.
Yep, and so yeah, we'll constantly stay on top of that and make sure information is provided to everybody out there. With that being said, Kate, this may be a great transition. Talking about the website and some of the resources that are available about that. So I know you can show a little bit and talk a little bit to what we have available for people to help them get to DevLearn.
Yeah, so one of the questions we had come in was, my boss wants me to show what I'm going to learn from attending. How can I do that? Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop over. Oh, Mark, can you share screen share? But while we're doing that, I'll just start off by saying
the one thing we didn't test, Kate.
Yeah, that's okay. We have a page on the website dedicated for just that, helping you convince your boss to get you to attend. It's the Convince Your Boss page, and on that is a session planner, which, Mark, I think you have in front of you too. It's just a one-pager you could print out and mark off which sessions look interesting to you and share that with your boss and say, hey, look, this is how I'm going to learn, what I'm going to learn, and what I'm going to take away to help support the team. And in addition, on that page is a letter we've already drafted for you to hand to your boss and say, this is what's going on.
Yeah, it definitely breaks things down, makes it a little bit easier for you to have that conversation. And like Kate said, many of you received obviously something of this nature in the mail, but it's also going to be available on the website. So you can pull it down, fill it out. Because I think when you show the actual titles against what you're doing, how it aligns to what you need or the organization needs, it definitely speaks for itself to somebody who's at a higher up position to help you make that decision to go to the event itself.
Yep. Okay. Sort of related to that is, obviously they'll want to know the numbers. What's the cost? You can find that on the registration information page, but there's always a combination of different discounts, whether you work in government or if you're a guild member or if you work for a nonprofit. Oh, thank you, Mark. You're pulling that up now. So this is a registration form itself, and all the costs, if you decide you want to come for a certificate program or a co-located event, you can see what it'll add up to. And as you can see, there's a discount coming up on July 30th. There's more after that if you're watching this after the fact. So it breaks it down the best way, the easiest way for you. No math to be done on your end. It's all right here. And those are some of the discounts we were talking about. So nonprofit, government, academic, or if you come as a group.
Yeah, and if you continue down this, you'd see all the breakdowns of the event itself in terms of some of the separate pricing that goes into it, some of the pre-conference activities that take place. It's all here for you, so it makes it really kind of frictionless for you to read a little bit about them, link back, find more information, but as Kate just mentioned, also identifies the discounts available to you. So let me stop sharing that real quick, Kate. There we go. All right. So Kate, real quick question that everybody's probably going to be very curious about. There's a lot of discounts. Can people pull those together and save even more? How does that work?
Yes, there's only a couple that can't be combined, but for the most part, a lot of our discounts are combinable. So if you become a guild member, which is free, that saves you $200. There is a discount I mentioned that's coming up that'll save you $200. And then if you fall into one of those other categories of academic or nonprofit, those discounts can also be stacked.
Great, excellent. So what do you know off the top of your head? What's the maximum savings that somebody could receive?
Right now, without going into the complications of member or nonprofit or government, right now the price with savings is $14.65, and that's through this Friday. And then there'll be a $100 discount after that, which is still great, but until Friday is when you can get your best bet. And that does go up if you're a premium member not a premium member, but if you're in the Learning Leaders Alliance or have an online conference subscription with the Guild, you save an extra $100. So just shout out to that group.
Yeah, and obviously the first and most important thing to do to get an easy discount with us is, of course, become a member of the Guild, right? So when you become a member of the Guild, then you can apply that right to the DevLearn event itself.
Yep.
I'm going to jump into another question that comes up is, people are going to want to maximize their trip to the conference. Conference is 3 days long, but obviously we have activities and events that take place before the conference itself. So a couple things everybody should be aware of, and all of this again is on that registration page. So you can see how it breaks down. Currently we have 12 workshops that will be taking place, pre-conference workshops. These are all-day events. Some of the topics that you might be interested in are like learning experience design strategy, micro-lesson development, micro-learning, video production, virtual instructor-led training is another, and obviously even as we lean, that future lean for DevLearn, of course, AR is a very popular topic as well. I'll also add pre-conference activities. We have 2 certificate programs. These are 2-day events. There's a Storyline 360 over 2 days, and then there's Agile Project Management, which is always popular in the learning development space. So definitely look into that. And then we have our co-located events that are currently in development. So we're not going to leave VR behind. I mentioned AR, virtual reality also has a 2-day event. So if you're a designer, developer, or you're working at the higher level of strategy and how to move this forward, that'll happen over 2 days. And then if you're a member of the Learning Leaders Alliance, the Learning Leaders Alliance Forum will be taking place. That's a 1-day event, and more details are growing about what's taking place at that particular event. And then a very popular one is the Articulate Users Conference. So you can immerse yourself in everything Articulate and the Articulate product suite of tools, and that is a 1-day event. And all those, again, are listed on the website, and they're broken down on the registration page.
Everything begins on Sunday, and you can attend a workshop and a co-located event if you just check out the schedule and make sure there's no overlap or certificate program, whatever looks good to you.
All right, just checking real quick here, Kate, see if there's any questions from the group that's assembled. Don't hesitate to ask a question. I see there's some over here. Maybe we're filling in all the answers, Kate, and we're hitting them before they even know.
Right, exactly. So, Mark, here's one that's for you. What's happening with DemoFest this year?
Yeah, so DemoFest, right? So this is our science fair, right? This is our science fair of community projects in multiple categories. If you're not familiar with it, the details are on the website as well. It's one of the most popular events that happens. So how does things change? How does things look different this year? Of course, as I talked about in the beginning, typically DemoFest is everybody kind of rushes into a ballroom and sees many tables there. We're going to take every precaution to make sure that, one, the community gets heard, the projects are available to people, and obviously taking safety into account and social distancing. We're looking at how we're going to lay that out to make it the best experience that still meets the goals, where you can learn, talk to, and see some of the great projects that are out there. Something new though, Kate, that this year that we're promoting is a personal project. So in the past, a lot of the projects have to be really used in real learning contexts to be allowed on. We are allowing a category for people who have kind of that beta idea, that little experiment they've done in their organization, that kind of half-baked piece that they feel people can learn from. So you'll notice if you're interested in submitting to speak at DevLearn or present at DevLearn, there is that option on the CFP, and that will be available, I believe, as early as this week. It'll be online to take advantage of it. And also, just so you know that if you're attending DevLearn, you can participate in DemoFest as a registrant. You can also be an Expo Plus holder and then be able to show your project at DemoFest this year.
That's exciting. I'm excited to see the projects from that category.
Yeah, we've held, it's funny, over the years we've always been kind of like, yeah, but it didn't really impact learners, but there was so much to learn from some of these that we felt bad about it, and we felt there was an opportunity to like create a special space for these folks who get a chance to kind of practice on the side, even if they didn't implement it yet, or maybe not at all. It's still a real value add.
That's great.
Yeah, it'd be fun. What
All
else?
right. Speaking of the Expo Plus pass, there's what can we expect from the Expo this year? Well, a lot per usual. The DevLearn Expo is one of the biggest in the North America, and we have 125 plus vendors on the docket for this year. And one of my favorite part of the expos are the learning stages. This year we have 5, and it's free to attend the expo, and that's a whole program of sessions available at no cost for whoever maybe can't attend the full event or is local to Las Vegas and stopping in, or a drive. I know that's an easy drive for most people on the West Coast. I think about 50 or 60 free sessions, and it gets you in the hall. You can meet the exhibitors, talk to your favorite vendors, check out that tech that you've been looking for, and then also catch some sessions and then finish one of the days with DemoFest.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest, and there's no comparison. I mean, being there in person and being able to see and talk to the vendors themselves about the challenges you have and find that right solution. It's a must-have, and it's a must-attend as part of the DevLearn conference for sure.
Yeah, even if you are attending as a full conference attendee, the expo is the place to be in the evenings, especially.
That's right. I don't see any questions coming in just yet on at this particular point. So Kate, I'm going to ask you real quick, from your perspective, marketing, being there, helping develop this event, what are you most looking forward to?
That's a good question. I think this year in particular, I love the DevLearn energy. That's probably cliche at this point to talk about, but the community that comes to DevLearn is always so amped to be there. And my hope and guess for this year is that is going to be through the roof with the year off we had last time. I mean, you saw the energy everyone brought to the virtual event last year. So seeing that in person this year, as far as the program goes, we have some amazing keynotes already lined up. Chris Hadfield, I'm just really excited to hear from him and what he's learned about overcoming obstacles. And he also talks a lot about leadership. So I'm sure that will come into his keynote as well. That's probably my top 2 for this year, but I'm sure as we get closer, everything will just be exciting. So what about you, Mark?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Kate. Being behind the development of this program, it's exciting to see the range of sessions that are coming in. I mean, obviously, people have really buckled down in the last year and a half, 2 years of really being creative in their spaces to bring new, exciting ideas, different technologies into play. And we're very fortunate that so many people submitted to present, and it was very challenging to build a program when you have, 400, 600, 800 proposals come in for a program of 120, 140 sessions. But what we
Right.
can select on this program is pretty amazing. The categories are always still there: management strategy, instructional design, emerging technologies. The biggest thing I'm looking forward to for me is always DemoFest, because I think that's where you really see how the community shares, learns from each other, and it's that real kind of social experience. Because DevLearn, and like most guild events, I would say, is a big social experience. It's not necessarily what's happening in the room that's most powerful. It's what happens in the hallways when people can actually connect and share and talk a little bit, build context around what they're learning, how they're going to apply that back at their organization. So like it's that people are amped up, and it's going to be exciting to get back together.
Yeah, and I know one thing I saw come in was about the t-shirt challenge. We do that every year, and I know DevLearn swag is one of those things people are excited about too. So yes, we are doing that this year too. So start thinking about your designs. Oh,
right.
And yeah, what's coming in here?
Oh, we do have a question. There we go.
I know we also, the Learning Guild does also run the Learning 2021 conference. How would you describe the difference between DevLearn and Learning when trying to decide which one to attend?
Oh, let me take that. So, the Learning Show is definitely geared towards people who are looking at that leadership, that movement forward in the organization, as far as not necessarily being a leader, but being aspirational in that particular space. It definitely has some overlap in terms of, obviously, the content and learning is still very prevalent, but DevLearn is kind of our lean into what's next, right? So if you're somebody who's at a certain point in your career and you're wondering what's coming down the road in 2, 3, 5 years, in addition to the practical pieces that you get, the take home and use right away at work, you're also getting kind of a glimpse into the future, and being able to prepare yourself, prepare your team, and prepare your organization for that what's next in learning and development. So that's how I just kind of distinguish the two of those programs.
Thanks. Yep.
Good question.
And if you want to attend Orlando and Las Vegas,
that's right.
We'll do a little traveling this fall.
All right. Any other questions? That one's answered. Nope.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to leave with a parting thought. Kate, you can dovetail, add your own thoughts to this, but I would say keep your eye on the website. Things are changing and growing as we add and build more for this exciting program. As we mentioned in the beginning, it is the place to come and look carefully at any changes that are happening and how we're hosting the event live, making sure the precautions and what we're following to keep everybody safe and have an enjoyable experience will take place there. And one other thing, of course, is you can always reach out to myself on the programming team if you have questions about programming. That email address is programs@learningguild.com. And in a short order, I'll be able to answer any questions you have if you didn't get them answered here today.
Yeah, I would just echo what Mark said. We are updating the website daily with new sessions and elements of the program. And in addition, if you have any questions related to registration or you need something to share with your boss, if you can't find what you're looking for on the website, you can always contact marketing as well. We are marketing@learningguild.com.
Very good. All right, Kate, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
I have a feeling this partnership is going to be a lot more.
Marking live with Kate and Mark. Mark
and
Kate. We haven't decided whose name goes first yet, so we'll take that conversation offline.
Sounds good. Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye.